This finna be a hot take, but mecha anime is garbage. Well, not garbage, but let's just say I never really had an interest in it. A lot of them are very old and pretty dated, and I really never was into big robots fighting each other. I didn't even watch Power Rangers as a kid for real. And I've always low-key longed to get into mech animes because I always thought they were cool, but they just end up boring me. The only one I've been semi-interested in before the topic of this video was Evangelion, but even then, watching the show didn't really catch my heart like that. So I just ended up watching hour-long analysis on the anime, which I thought were more interesting than the actual show. But one anime that stuck out above all for its animation, personality, and charm was Gurren Lagann, an anime where mechs become stronger than Goku. And I'm not even saying that as a joke, literally. At the very end of the show, they're literally throwing galaxies at each other. It was crazy how they literally went from being city level to multiversal in the span of 3 episodes near the end. But I'm not here to talk about power scaling, but more so the ambience of the show. Gurren Lagann starts with 2 main characters, Simone and Kamina, and they have one goal in mind, to see the surface, as they're a part of these villages that are burrowed deep under the ground. And they're told time and time again that they're not allowed on the surface, because the surface is owned by beastmen, which really aren't even evil creatures if you think about it. They're just enemies to the humans. And eventually, Simone finds the first piece to the Gurren Lagann, being the Lagann headpiece. And with this headpiece, he's able to make it to the surface, where they go on many adventures. The start of the show is really just them expanding their team, even recruiting some baddies. Like, the show already a 10 out of 10, it has Yoko on it. I've never seen so much plot in my life. And I really love how big the show is on friendship and brotherly bonds, as the main character Simone can't really find the strength or confidence to be able to save the world. But his older brother gave it to him, because even though he didn't have the confidence in himself, he had somebody right by his side that had confidence in him. And they weren't even blood brothers at that. Their connection was just so strong that it really just seemed that way through the whole series. Kamina was the strong leader, and Simone was the brain behind the operation. They form a plan to defeat all the beastmen and take back the surface for humans. And in one of these heartfelt battles, Kamina ends up dying. And this moment was really sad. But I like how this show tackles these tough moments. Not just showing how badly his death affected the main character, but showing that it affected everybody. Kamina was a very strong leader, somebody that was very headstrong, and jumped into a lot of situations that he didn't really need to be in. But that's why people loved him, and why he was able to make an impact on all of the team for Gurren. But I'm not gonna lie, the way the show went about it was kinda comical. Simone liked Yoko, and Yoko liked Kamina, kinda creating this love triangle. And there's a scene where Simone gets his heart broken because Yoko confesses her love to Kamina. Seeing them kiss, pretty much his best friend took his girl, which Simone's way younger than Yoko, so I don't really know what he expected. But literally in the next mission, they slime him out. Like, are we serious? Really had me feeling like they slimed Kamina out over a love interest. And if you really think about it, Yoko's the only loser here, because Simone literally finds his girl in the next mission over. That's another thing I want to highlight as well, is just how funny the show is. I like how the animation and all the jokes kind of just tie into each other. The show can be very serious, but also creates all these wacky and very funny scenarios at times, making all the characters kind of feel like gags. All the way up until the point they're really just fighting for the fate of the universe. And even though the power scaling is all over the place, where they just go from fighting regular surface threats to fighting cosmos in the galaxy, I never could call cap because the series doesn't take itself serious in the first place. The art is amazing and the colors all blend really well. And it speaks a lot about each character's personality. After Kamina's death, Simone becomes a great leader, inheriting his brother's confidence, and being able to lead Team Gurren to victory, defeating the first big bad, Lord Genome, and all of the beastmen, taking back the surface. And then we get a little bit of a time skip, and this is where the show kinda gets a little shaky. Just in 7 years, they were able to colonize this much of the planet, with large buildings, advanced technology, and really everything to boot. And I could not stand this man Raziu. He was a character that Kamina and Simone saved early in the show, and he goes from this timid, chill dude to being straight up harsh, almost like a dictator, even trying to put Simone to death because he feels like he's a danger to people, when all he wants to do is fight the weird space aliens coming to invade. And not only that, he's the one that made it possible for y'all to live on the surface in the first place. And now before y'all come at me in the comments saying I wasn't really paying attention, yes, I know Raziu deep down actually cares about the citizens, and he was probably the main reason they were even able to defeat the anti-spiral, because he was able to find the coordinates of where they were, using the previous big bad Lord Genome as a literal floating head to get info from him, and learn how to neutralize the biggest threat in the whole series. I just think the way that he took his duties so far was low-key alarming to me though. and it almost took the end of the world for him to realize how harsh he was in his wrongdoings. Which is big ups to Simone even more, because even after all of that, he saved Raziu for literally trying to take his own life, and was able to end the fight with the anti-spiral, saving the world once again. This part of the show was pretty good, but I still think the first half of the show definitely got it in terms of quality. I feel like I felt the emotion more, especially after Kamina's death, and all the characters had a chance to grow. Whereas in the time skip, I was confused at some of the characters' placings, and there was just a lot going on, like there was no chill moments. But one character that I did love seeing in the time skip was Yoko. The show doesn't just show us her off rip, and the first time we see her in the time skip is when she saves Simone from being in jail. We don't see her at first because she's actually off on an island doing her own thing, being a teacher, because she wanted to look after the first batch of kids that were born on the surface. And after seeing the first part, I would never think that being a teacher suits her, but it definitely did. They wrote her story really well, but I do feel like they did her dirty, because after finally getting over Kamina, the character Kitan, which I thought he was pretty cool. I mean, look at his mech. Like, what is that? It's cool, but weirdly cool, but I still like it. He ends up making a move on Yoko, and you know, she almost got another love interest, but then he dies. They blew his ass up. Like, Yoko can find no happiness, bro. See, this would have happened to me. I would have tried to raise her up if I was in the show, and then I just would have died. Anybody she touches be dying. Like, what's going on? But yeah, with that being said, I was definitely all over the place because I did not do this video with the script. I was just giving my off-the-dome thoughts on Gurren Lagann. And if y'all want more of my opinions on different animes instead of just me covering anime fight videos all the time, let me know for sure. Drop a like and give me some animes to watch for sure. Definitely want to find some more underrated ones like Gurren Lagann and give my opinions on them. Before I go, I guess I want to tell you about my favorite character in the show and the rating that I give the show. I give Gurren Lagann a 9 out of 10. It was really good. It was funny and the art style keeps you engaged the whole time, and it was short, but not too short, like 12 episodes, but around 27, to where you can get all the information and questions you need answered, and it wraps up in a nice little bow. As described before, I really liked Yoko's whole character arc, so I feel like she was probably my favorite character. Either her or Simone himself, as he's definitely the main drive behind the whole show. And with that being said, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.
And I'm a McLaren, 720 yes. I keep the tech, I'm not the one to test. That nigga won't smoke, hope he bought a vest. So one time to be in Takahashi.